The 2025 Money in the Bank PLE is now a thing of the past, and for a B-level PLE that really felt like a B-level PLE going into it, I have to say, I'm speechless. I'll be going over each match in this video, giving my thoughts on whether it was a certified banger or a dud, and where I think the story goes from each match. If you're not already following this channel, stick around until the very end and let me earn that subscription. The night started off with the women's Money in the Bank match as Naomi defeated Alexa Bliss, Stephanie Vauquer, Julia, Roxanne Perez, and Rhea Ripley. If you saw my predictions video, I still stand by the fact that all 6 women involved in this match had a justifiable reason for winning, and at the same time, I still think that Naomi being the winner was the right call here. I also said that Rhea Ripley made sense from a marketing standpoint, but the more I think about it, the more I can see them creating this briefcase replica for Naomi with the caution tape around, and I think that's pretty cool, so I think that's where they go with it. As a whole, I thought this match was pretty good. There were plenty of spots that were pulled off nicely. The usage of several ladders made a few bumps look really painful, and I never thought any of the 6 wrestlers in this match felt out of place. For whichever agent put this match together, give yourself a round of applause because all 6 participants had their share of offense, and the match flowed really nicely. It'll be interesting to see where they go with the cash-in for Naomi now, considering she's still intertwined with Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, which leads me to believe they're going to put it on the back burner for at least a little bit and kind of finish off that program. I will say this, in the history of the women's Money in the Bank briefcase cash-in, there has never been an unsuccessful attempt. So Triple H, if you're listening, don't even think about it. But yeah, this match was a good match, so I'm going to give it a thumbs up. Next up was the impromptu match between Dominik Mysterio and Octagon Jr. for the Intercontinental Championship, which was set up at the Worlds Collide show. First things first, really WWE? You're going to pull off this just hours before the PLE and have me thinking that we're going into the show with just 4 matches? On that note, because this match was for the Intercontinental Championship, this is the first time in Money in the Bank where no men's or women's world title was defended on the show. I guess you could say that the streak is over. But the match that we got, yeah, it was alright. I think that for the 4 minutes and 55 seconds that they got, yes, they got under 5 minutes, they managed to put together a cohesive match that looked great and also gave Dom Mysterio a much needed title defense. The best part of this match, at least for me, is how it came to be in the first place. For as much flack as Dom Mysterio gets for his cowardly backdoor tactics, he's the one that came up with the match and even put his title on the line. Yes, Liv Morgan does help him beat Octagon Jr., but the point of it is he took a stand and made this match happen, and I think that makes him look good regardless of how he won. Honestly, I'd like to see more of this side of Dom Mysterio, whether it's putting his title on the line and defending it, or standing up to people like Finn Balor backstage. Overall, it was a decent match, but because of the short time, I have to give it a sideways thumb. After that, we got the Women's Intercontinental Championship match as Becky Lynch was victorious in her last chance against the champion, Lyra Valkyria. Yeah, alright, I was wrong, but I did say that a second consecutive loss to Lyra would hurt Becky, and I guess the WWE agreed with that. Becky's win puts an end to Lyra's 145-day reign as Intercontinental Champion. From the moment the WWE announced the mid-card titles for the women's division, I had the belief that in order to raise both championships, you would need at least one of them to be held by a veteran. In Lyra's case, I think she did a stellar job despite being on the main roster for so little. Sometimes the championship makes the superstar, and other times the superstar makes the championship. But in Lyra's case, I think you can make an argument for both happening at the same time. Lyra became an exponentially bigger star when she became champion, but at the same time, she raised the value of that title by holding on to it for so long and defending it the way she did. As for the match, I think it wasn't as good as their Saturday night main event match, but it was still pretty good. There were a couple of nice spots. Becky and Lyra worked really well off one another, and you have a finish that makes sense as Becky used her veteran mindset to pull the tights and steal the win. From here, I'm really not sure where they go from it. We have the Evolution show coming up pretty soon, and you can make an argument that there will be a title rematch between Becky and Lyra, and that would be a pretty good match for the show. But at the same time, I wonder when or if they bring back Bayley into the picture and have her challenge Becky. I also wonder how Becky's run as Women's Intercontinental Champion will be, if it'll be similar to how they did it with the NXT Women's Championship run, where she serves as that champion that needs to be beat but can't until one of the up-and-comers comes around and steals the title off of her, like Lyra did in NXT. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but let me know in the comments down below who you think is the next in line to challenge Becky Lynch for the title. Just before the main event, we got the men's Money in the Bank match, where Seth Rollins joined CM Punk as a 2-time winner, defeating LA Knight, Penta, El Grande Americano, Andrade, and Solo Sikoa. And damn it, we got a ton to talk about. First things first, LA Knight fans, come here. Come a little bit closer. A little closer. Too close, back up a little bit. I get it, I'm sorry. LA Knight has now missed his opportunity to become Mr. Money in the Bank for a third time, and I'm afraid things aren't going to get any better from here on out. Granted, he was the United States champion twice in the last year, so can we really argue he's getting screwed over? I just don't know where he goes from here. Andrade didn't feel too out of place in this match either, considering he missed a springboard to the ladder spot, and he also took a ladder to the testicles at one point, which looked brutal. But otherwise, I think a lot of people going into this one thought he was the biggest sneak of the match, and maybe Carmelo Hayes should have been in the match instead, but you know what? He did all right. He didn't look out of place, and I feel pretty happy for him. Penta and El Grande Americano looked great at times, and I thought at certain points El Grande Americano stole the show. There was that point where he was hitting German suplexes on everyone, looking like peak Kurt Angle back in the day, and it was pretty fun to watch. We also got some shenanigans in this one as Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker came out to help Seth Rollins steal the win. They were just obliterating everyone, and the moment they turned their eyes towards Solo Sikoa, that's when Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo came out. At that point, it kind of felt like a mini Bloodline Rules situation where we just had people coming out left and right, but it was still a lot of fun, and I enjoyed both appearances from Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, and then Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo. Now, this is what leads us to the big heartbreaking moment of the night, as Jacob Fatu is starting to help Solo Sikoa climb up the ladder until he grabs his ankle, and he says the words that I don't think any of us were prepared to hear. I hate you, Solo. I don't think any of us were prepared to hear that, and it's going to take some time to adjust, but from here on out, I think we see the rocket get strapped to Jacob Fatu's back and he gets blasted to the moon in the next year. This ultimately sets up for Seth Rollins to capture the briefcase. We get that little bit of back and forth between him and LA Knight before Rollins climbs up the ladder and grabs the briefcase, and honestly, if I'm looking at both Money in the Bank ladder matches, I think that Rollins was one of the only ones that I thought didn't really need the briefcase. What we do know is that Jey Uso is going to be defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Gunther on Monday Night Raw, so that could be the opportunity Seth needs to cash in and steal the title. As for the match itself, I have to give it 2 thumbs up. The action was there, the spots were great, the drama was beautiful. I don't think you could ask for anything else, except maybe an LA Knight win. And finally, we got our main event as Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso defeated the team of John Cena and Logan Paul. I'll make this short and sweet because I know what you all want to hear. The tag team match itself was pretty good, and the conflict between John Cena and Logan Paul as they shoved each other was pretty funny to watch. But overall, I found the pace was okay and the action was fun. There were some pretty great spots in this match, especially when Logan Paul had the drone in his hand and then he got superplexed off the top rope. And I kid you not, I legitimately laughed out loud when Jey Uso hit that splash right after, and it was still in that drone angle. I could feel the impact from home watching it, and it was just insane. All right, now let's talk about it. R-Truth is back, ladies and gentlemen. Just when you thought he was gone, they pulled him right back in. I kid you not, I shouted so loud that my daughter told me that was the loudest she ever heard me yell during a wrestling show. I really can't tell if the WWE was working us this entire time or if they legitimately listened to the audience and brought him back, but at this point, I really don't care. R-Truth is back and that's all that matters. Now, during the post-show, they did refer to him as Ron Killings, so I'm not sure if they're going to keep calling him Ron Killings or if they might mix it up between both Ron Killings and R-Truth, but can you remember a time when the WWE audience was this vocal about someone's release and they brought them back immediately? I can't remember. It just goes to show you that when you remain vigilant and chant for someone and show your support and bring signs to each show, the WWE will eventually listen. No matter what form of media that I consume, I always live for those moments. In hockey, I always loved that overtime goal in the playoffs, and in anime, just look back to episode 9 of Steins Gate. But in wrestling, nothing gets me going more than having an unexpected return that nobody saw coming and even the dirt sheets didn't know about it. I honestly live for these big moments, and Money in the Bank this year delivered on that in a big, big way. I have to give this match a huge 2 thumbs up just for the fact that it exceeded all of my expectations and it gave us one of the biggest surprises of the year with R-Truth returning. The only negative thing I can say about it is that I don't get to relive it for a second time. And that does it for this video. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of each match, what you thought about R-Truth returning, and if there was any winner that you thought maybe could have been rewarded to someone else. I honestly went into this night thinking that we were going to get a pretty average show and left with a big smile on my face. If you liked this video, click like, and if you really liked it, hit subscribe and make sure to click that bell to receive all notifications on future videos. As always, this is Sean signing off, reminding you that no matter what you do in life, be yourself, believe in yourself, and above all else, stay persistent.